Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation today on making the most of open days and higher education fairs. Thank you all for joining today. I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. So my name's Anita. I'm originally from a small town called Bedford and I'm currently a business management student here at the University of Leicester, and I'm also on a placement year working for the university in the Future Students Office. I've just got my uni buddy profile here on the right. So if you go to le.ac.uk/chat, you can talk to all of our staff and our students here at the University of Leicester. Okay, so just a quick introduction. You probably already know what they are, but just going to introduce and define what open days and higher education fairs are. So open days are organised by universities. They give you the first-hand insight and experience to what university life will be like. They're usually held on university campus and give you the opportunity to look around the university itself. So going on things like accommodation tours, looking at different facilities, going and finding out more about your course modules and your course details. In comparison to this, higher education fairs are a little bit different. They're usually exhibitions helping students to explore a wide range of academic and career opportunities. They're held at schools and colleges, and they're usually where a number of different universities will come and set up a stand. So this is useful for students as there's a large number, a wide variety of different universities here all in one place, making it a little bit easier, whereas in open days you'd probably go and explore different universities in different areas, whereas higher education fairs usually has everything in one place. Okay, so let's get straight into it. How can I make the most of open days and higher education fairs? So before you attend higher education fairs and open days, I recommend doing some research. Preparation is key as you're going to be dealing with a lot of information. You're going to get information overload. So preparing things beforehand, making lists might make things a little bit easier. So firstly, you want to narrow down the course you want to study, shortlist them, as you may have 4 or 5 in mind already. And obviously when you're applying to university, you can only apply to one course. So shortlisting these and deciding on what you definitely want to study. Obviously, this might be different if you're going to study a different course at a different university, then obviously you can look at multiple ones. After that, you then want to shortlist the specific university you want to go to. So what does the university offer that you're looking for? Narrowing these down to which ones you want to visit. However, the benefit of some of them being online is that you might not have to shortlist them into, let's say, 3 or 4. You can possibly visit a lot more than that, as everything is more accessible online. You don't have to physically go to these universities, which is, again, a benefit of it being virtual for the time being. Research the course you want to study, other specific modules you're looking for. Is there certain assessment styles that you want to do? So you're more interested in the exams rather than coursework. Maybe there's research before, just so it makes it a little bit easier when you're shortlisting the universities and the course. Plan your trip. This is more if the open days and the higher education fairs are going to be physical in person. So you want to be thinking about how you get there. Where is it? Are you going to be having to travel far? Do you need public transport? Do you have your own car to drive there? What buildings do you want to visit? Are you looking for your specific course department, what they offer? Or do you want to look at things like the library, accommodation, and who do you want to talk to? So really narrowing this down, as there's going to be lots of things to visit. So having a clear plan is really going to be helpful. Obviously, if things are virtual and you're not having to physically visit it, then this might be a little bit different. It might just be more looking at talk times, tours, things like that. Register in advance. This is important as you'll get reminders and updates of when the open day is occurring, as sometimes you can be forgetful if there's lots of information in one place. You need to be reminded of what's happening and when. It also allows the university to understand who's going to be attending. Make notes of specific talks and tours you want to attend. Again, there's going to be lots of things going on, so if you could narrow this down in a list, it's going to be helpful for you and you're going to save time and be more effective. So I've produced a little activity here for you guys. So it's essentially just a spreadsheet, but you can make a note of all the different universities you want to visit. And again, this is going to be easy to compare different things you're visiting, because you're going to be looking at lots of universities and you're going to get confused having all this information. So it's really effective to have everything in one space, which is easy to view and compare. So we've got things like the course title, the UCAS code, because this just makes life a lot easier when you're coming to apply to UCAS. You're not rummaging through the website and looking for the code, you've already got them here in front of you. You might want to make a note of things like entry requirements, because I know these will be different for different courses. If you're doing things like an EPQ, it might bring down the entry requirement. Do they require things like interviews, GCSE grades? These are all important things to be looking out for. You want to look specifically at the course as well, what it offers, the assessments, contact hours, because again, all universities are different and they offer different things. So like I said previously, if you want to have assessments that are stronger in exams rather than coursework, really look into this because everything is different. Do they offer a study abroad or a placement year? This was really important for me because I definitely knew I wanted to do a placement, so having that available to me was essential. What societies are run, what's the student life like, how's the student union, what do they offer as their volunteering, careers opportunity, what support is given to you, mental health, disability, is this a key aspect for you, where is it located from home, do you want to be far away from home, do you want to be closer, having key dates as well, so open day dates so you're not forgetting these things. And lastly, just a few notes, so positive and negative, so you can again make it easier to compare the universities and really find what you're looking for. So what can you do on the day? I really recommend to maximise your opportunities here. Visit as many colleges, universities, STAD as possible, even the ones that you may be unsure about. Again, as you're not physically having to go to these fairs and these open days, you're really benefiting here, as you're not having to walk anywhere, you're not having to find public transport or drive there. You can literally access it from your room, your bedroom, on your laptop. So go visit ones that you might not be sure about, because you may go to a lecture and a lecturer will say something that changes your mind and makes that difference for you. So yeah, I really recommend that. Utilise tours. So if you're going to a physical open day, try get on these tours so you can have a real feel of the campus, have a look at the different facilities. Accommodation tours are really helpful as well, because essentially you want to look where you're going to be living. If you're looking for specific things like an ensuite or a shared kitchen, a shared bathroom, these are good things to go look at. This is really important, I believe. Talk to everyone, talk to staff and students. I know sometimes you might feel silly, but these are people with like first-hand experience. They will be able to give you advice and guidance on things at university and things that they've experienced. Make use of the goodies and freebies. Again, this is more if you're physically going to visit the open days. They give out lots of packs, bags, free food, stationery, things like that you really want to utilise and keep, because it can be helpful for your studies in the future. Like I previously said, again, there are benefits to virtual open days and higher education fairs, and that's the accessibility of it. Obviously, it all being in one place, you can revisit resources, download things, you can log on when you want, and again, everything is in one place. You're not having to physically go to these open days and higher education fairs and travel miles and miles to go and visit these universities for one day. It's all going to be accessed for you from the comfort of your own home. More for virtual open days, again, ensure you're in a comfortable environment. Is your internet strong? If you're in a big family, maybe request some of your family members to just come off the internet for an hour so you can quickly do your research. Make sure you're comfortable, so you've got your snacks and your drinks ready as well. Another thing I really recommend is to explore the city and the surrounding areas. What is there to do for fun? Because not everything's about studying at the end of the day. You want to enjoy where you're living. So when I went to open days with my mum, we always made sure to go and get some food after we went to the open days. So we'd go into town, sit down and have a meal, just so you can get a feel of what the city's like, what the people like, the culture, and what facilities are available. Again, this might be difficult with COVID and the current climate, but hopefully when restrictions start to get relaxed, you can always just pop down to the city centre and take a look around. So this is what I believe to be the most important factor when attending higher education fairs and open days, is to ask questions. It's so important to get that first-hand experience from staff and students. And I know sometimes you feel silly and you don't want to ask the wrong questions, but like every question is relevant and everyone's happy to help. Recommend preparing some questions beforehand so you're not just stuck on the spot and don't know what to ask. Everyone's going to be in the same position as you. University is a new thing for everyone. You're not going to know what you're doing, so every question again is relevant. And if you're asking a question, it might be helping someone else. So by you asking a question and getting an answer from a lecturer, someone else might have not known this before. So it is helping other people. Benefits of it being, again, virtual means that you don't have to physically show your face. You can be anonymous. So you can ask any specific question you want, regardless of how silly or irrelevant you think it may be. Again, you're anonymous. People won't know that it's you asking it. And every question is relevant. I'm repeating that sentence, but it is important. And you really want to get the experience from the staff and the students, because, again, they've gone to uni, they know what it's about, whereas this is all new to you. I think it's important as well to talk to the students and ask about student life and their experience, because, again, like I said previously, it's not all about studying. Student life, and the student life is a big factor of it. So you want to know, like, how they made friends, what society they've joined, like other aspects of uni. I've also just got some example questions down here below. So what do you wish you would have known before starting university? What is the best and worst thing about being a student? And how do you manage your finances? I know one thing I would wish I'd known before starting university is, what do I bring to university? I remember when I moved into my accommodation, I forgot to bring something as simple as like a drying rack. I wouldn't have thought about this before, because obviously I wasn't as planned, I wasn't as organised, I didn't think about this beforehand, and it meant that I had to go out into town and get some stuff before I could like properly move in. Although it's just a little thing, it's just something I wish I would have known before. I wish I'd maybe talked to some more students and seen what they would have brought to university, because obviously the accommodation doesn't provide everything for you. You do have to bring your own stuff to a certain extent. So what to do after? I don't think you should just go to open days and then leave it at that. It's really necessary to do to remind yourself what you've learned after the open days. So again, the benefit of it being online is you can download and store these resources. If you're going to physical open days, keep the leaflets, keep the prospectuses, keep the accommodation leaflets. These are all going to be important, and you want to remind yourself of what you've learned and where you visited. So again, you can apply this to your activity spreadsheet I've created. At Leicester, we have something called Leicester on Demand, so you can revisit the resources there. We have talks and presentations on student finance, personal statement writing, student life, your course details. So there's all that information in one place for you. I've just got the link there on the slide as well. Again, utilise the activity spreadsheet I've used. It's going to be really helpful in comparing them universities. I know that I was not planned. I was not organised when it came to picking my universities, and I quickly forgot what different facilities and things they offered. So having the spreadsheet there and being able to compare the universities is really useful. Get that first-hand experience as well from students and staff. Read student blogs. This picture here on the right is our UniBuddy website. So here you can talk to students, you can read student blogs as well. I've just linked it, so it's le.ac.uk/chat. Really utilise these tools and speak to students and get their experience. Again, the internet is an important tool. With everything being online at the moment, you can do further research after these open days. So you can go and do your own independent research and find some extra information online. You're not just limited to going to an open day and that being it. And lastly, a really important factor, I believe, is try not to dwell on how COVID may impact your studies. I know at the moment times are difficult and things are changing, rules are being changed, we're constantly going in and out of lockdown. So it's important just to remind yourself that COVID is short term and your education is long term. You're going to be studying for a minimum of 3 years. If you're a medic, you're going to be studying for 5-6 years. It's going to be a lot longer. So just remember that COVID is only going to be a small chunk of your education, and it's not going to last forever. So try not to think too much about how it's going to affect your studies, because at the end of the day, a majority of your learning will be physical and in person, because you're going to be studying for 3 years. So sorry if that was a lot of information to offload onto you, but I've just quickly summarised it for you all. So in summary, try and do prep research beforehand. Like I've said, shortlist them universities, shortlist them courses, find out what you want to visit, what you want to know before you go, so it's not too much information overload when you get there. Obviously, you don't have to shortlist all the universities, because like I said, the benefit of it being online is that you can visit so many that you possibly couldn't have if it was physical. Use the activity sheet I've provided. So again, make a note of the universities you've visited, list the positives and negatives and how they compare and how they differ and what's more favourable to you. Most importantly, ask questions, get that first-hand experience from the students and staff. Ask as many questions as you want, as even if you think they're silly or irrelevant, just ask them, because they will be helping you essentially, and even helping other people. Talk, again, like I said, talk to people, get the first-hand experience, and revisit the resources so you're not forgetting what you've been told and what you're learning. it's really helpful that you have everything online in one place so that you can revisit the resources and you're not forgetting things. So just to finish, I've got one more slide just of useful links if you want to do, again, some extra research after this. We've got open day links here, coronavirus updates, our YouTube playlist where we keep all the resources. So like I said before, student finance talks, student life, course details, personal statement guidance. And again, chat to staff students, we've got le.ac.uk/chat, things like UCAS and more. So thank you guys for all listening to me today. Sorry if it was a lot of information, but I feel like it's very helpful and hopefully gives you better insight on how to make the most of higher education fairs and open days. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.